Time Again, Exposing the Truth. Welcome to Coffee Time Again, Exposing the Truth. Dale at the microphone, the show that demonstrates how history repeats itself. He digs into the past, shows what happens, and how it is happening now. Follow the path of history to where it goes, then relate it to today to reveal the connections. The culture that forgets its history has no future. A history buff and loves to talk about it, going back as far as ancient Greeks and Egyptians and beyond. So grab your coffee, your chair, and listen to the show. Hope you enjoy.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. This is Dale, your host of Coffee Time Again, Exposing the Truth. Today we're exposing the truth of Michael. I'm not even going to try to butcher his last name.
Michael McGrooch. Don't worry. Don't worry.
I'm not going to butcher it anyway. He can do it. Anyway, welcome to the show, Michael. I'm going to allow you to tell us a little bit about you and get started. So take it off.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for giving me a canvas to paint. I was born in Vienna, Austria. I was a sick child. I was 7. I went to school. I got basically punched in the face with my dyslexia and dysgraphia. I couldn't read, write, and stuttered. And literally can never be a part of a system because the dyslexia doesn't allow me to regurgitate or do something over and over again. So I can always be in the moment. So that's why I don't prepare for podcasts. I can be only good in podcasts because I'm not prepared.
Yeah.
If I'm prepared, so I say, don't show me the questions. You just ask me the question, I answer. So when I was 30, I looked at my resumes and I said, man, everything was art. I think I am an artist, even though people didn't say I'm an artist. Because artists looked at hobby and they said, you're not an artist. But I said, I am an artist because everything I did wasn't anything with school, job, or anything. I could make a little bit of bucks with being a DJ, selling tapes out of my trunk, producing fashion shows, did certain things, but I wasn't any good at anything other than art. And by 30, I said, oh, I'm an artist. I don't care if anybody calls me an artist. I am an artist. And that led to a lot of things because just that choice, making that choice and not depending on other people calling me an artist or being good or being bad. Excuse me. I just forged on, and actually all the stuff happens from there on. People came to me and said, can you be a part of me? Can you help me? Can you create that? And I was never rich, but it was a beautiful way of living, just dancing with all those people.
Mm-hmm. That's good. I'm glad you made that at 30, making that kind of decision and said, I don't care what they think. I'm an artist.
Yep.
I like that. That's a good, healthy way to look at things.
Yep. And I couldn't do anything else, Dale. I couldn't do anything else. I mean, I couldn't be an accountant. I have dyslexia. I would switch all the numbers around, Now
tell me about Bob's numbers.
Yeah.
I can't add 2 and 2 and come up with 4.
Exactly.
Come up with 3. Yeah, I have dyslexia myself, Michael, and it is rough. But although I was able to, I don't have it bad enough, but so I was able to have a couple of careers, but it was rough.
Yeah.
And I retired and found podcasting. Now I'm home.
Exactly. Exactly. Because now you're human. Now it's all about your humanity. It's not about what you can do, your skill. It's not about the skill. It's about being human, just being you, talking to another human.
That's what I did. I don't rewrite the questions. I just let them come up as they come up. Yeah. I do use the ones that you put in here because I think if you put them in there, you consider them to be a little bit important.
Yep.
So I put them in here and I ask them. I ask my questions as they come up. And what I'm going to ask is, you have said you haven't been rich, but it sounds like you've got a pretty good lifestyle.
I lived a great life. I never had enough. When I was arts commissioner, even I lived on food stamps. I was selected by 6 of 7 councilmen to be an arts commissioner. I was sworn in. I was a full politician. I lived on food stamps. I had to survive on food stamps because I had no way of making money.
No.
because artists are poor. Most artists are poor.
They are.
Yeah. So
My sister's a starving artist.
yeah, because it's the magic that you have when you create art. There's so much magic, and you don't want to give that up for an 8 to 5 job. And then when you get the product doesn't sell, which it's not about the product of the art product. It's about the creation. It's
Right.
like with the podcast, it's about the creation. We also we want that a lot of people listen to us, but even if they don't, we have a good time now.
Yeah.
That's the magic.
Exactly the way I feel. I don't have a whole lot of listeners. I have about 200, I think, 300.
Yeah.
But that's okay. I
Yeah.
get that many people listening to me.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
If I only had one, I'd still be happy with it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not doing this for them. I'm doing this for me.
Exactly. And do the best job that you can do in the moment. Right. And if you feel good, you're better. If you feel bad, you're not as good. But you got to do the best job that you can do. There's nothing else to do.
That's right. So why don't we know anything about art and creativity is one of your first questions.
We don't know because this is what I always say, I always look at humanity of my life when I found out what is human centric means. We are all 8 billion people are one of one. There's no nature God made us one of one. Otherwise, nature would have just done what systems do to us. They say, oh, there's male, female, and there is race. And everybody's generalized. But generalizing is always kind of a racism, because you see it right now. One leader does something, Russia, Ukraine, Israel, and Palestine, they're fighting because the leaders decide we have a war. And instantly the whole world and on the universities now, they're fighting each other because you're born there. It's the same thing as you're born black. You're born there. It's nothing you can do. If you politically, if you say, I want to be part of the Nazi party or whatever, there's a responsibility there. But there's no responsibility because you're born Jewish or born Palestinian or Russian or Ukrainian. Anywhere on the whole world, the people look at you differently. Oh, Ukraine just did that horrible thing. Americans, when we do something, you think our leaders said, okay, we drop an atomic bomb. Do you think the people all of a sudden looked at us differently? They looked at us, they loved us after the Second World War. They loved Americans after the Second World War. And the first one, because they were saviors and whatever. And then they dropped the bomb. That, and then Vietnam, it's like the leaders make a decision. It's, and we are also dependent on, the leaders are also dependent on, in war, especially with, on the taxes, because without taxes, they don't have to pay for war. The taxes pay for war.
Yeah, we do.
And when you don't pay your taxes, you get in jail. If you want to say, oh, I want to pay my taxes, but they're not used for war to kill other people that I don't even know, you can't say that. You don't have the right. And the same thing is with art. Art, they look at the product, whatever money you can make with the product. And if you're not somebody that is liked or the product is thing, what happens is that you're not an artist. Nobody sees you as an artist. If you don't have a podcast that has billions of viewers and views, which have 1% makes 98% of all the money, all the money that's in podcasting. If you're not one of nobody gives any a hoot about you.
No.
It's always that few leaders, and that's why I say it's a lie that we all live. The art is our superpower, which because you wouldn't be anything if you didn't create something made out of something of you. Create something about you. So our first superpower is creativity, and art. Art is the highest because it doesn't have a context. I mean, I can make an artful shoe, but there's a context to it. Art wants nothing other than to be created and exposed. So if you create art and show it to your mom or show it to your kid, that's enough.
Yeah.
Then the business side of it, the product, what's it called? it looks like a commodity. The commodity, when art is taken as a commodity, then it's all about a lot of people have to see it, museums have to think, money, 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 money. But that's a 0.001% that actually can get an attention like that, you know?
I know, out of all the people on Podmatch, I'm 307th on the list.
Yeah.
So
I don't
make
even
it
look at that, Dale. I don't even look at that.
I just happened to notice it today.
Yeah.
I support my podcast myself.
Yeah, me too. And Alex is such a great guy.
Yeah.
San Filippo is so a human centric. He's totally a human. He sees human as 101 and he wants to help.
Yeah.
And he says, I do the best that I can do.
That's right.
And that's why I love this guy. And Alicia, his wife.
We do the best that we can do all the time. Then eventually something breaks through.
Yeah.
Who
Yeah.
knows how long that may take, but eventually it will break through, in my opinion.
Yeah. Yeah. It happens or it doesn't happen. It really doesn't. For some people, it happens all the time. Whatever they touch, it turns to gold. Whatever they touch. But we find out that these people are not happy either.
Nope.
So because you have to have the confidence. Sometimes it works, sometimes not. Not every harvest is the same in nature, and we are part of nature, you know. And we have, and it's about existing in the moment. It's not about, oh, I got to be more and more and more, and always more. Then collectively, we have. It's never enough. Whatever I do, you know.
No, I was going to say something. Now I forgot what it was.
Doesn't matter. Take your time.
Yeah, I am a podcaster because I was bored with retirement.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep.
Find out I really enjoy it. The interviews, I enjoy writing a lot of my podcasts are audio that I've written, dealing with mostly politics.
Yeah.
Constitution, and founding fathers, and all kinds of stuff of justice, everything.
Yeah.
And they're all audio. And then I started doing interviews, and I'm going, wow, this is a whole new thing for me. And the first one was scary. This one's easy.
Yep. And it gives you more knowledge. It gives you more awareness because the superpower of humans is because everybody's a one-on-one. So if you and I talk about, even if we say both we are Republicans or Democrats or whatever, we can be talking about the same thing, not we against them. We can talk about the same thing and we can be clearer about the Democrats or the Republicans by just talking about it. Because my view on this person or your view on that person, and we can dance with each other and open our perspective. That's what real knowledge is. It's not knowledge to a linear, oh, this person said this. I don't care what that person said. That was his contribution and his viewpoint. Mm-hmm. But your viewpoint is exactly as important than Andrew Jackson's, whatever. It's just it doesn't matter. It's or Washington. He's system relevant, but we are living now, and you can look at Washington's stuff and say, okay, I think that's a great perspective, and I have something to say to that too. It's all about building on each other. We get our humanity, our potential, we really see when we exchange with each other. That's why podcasts are so powerful and politics are so weak. Because politics is me, I have my rules, left or right, against your rules. And it's made human talk systemic. That's why nothing goes on in politics. It's a stagnant thing that's either or, win or lose. It's not win or win better. It's always win or lose, because it's systemic.
It is, and I agree with you on that. Politics is just a great way to start an argument.
Mm-hmm. That's it.
I believe you can be disagreeable without being disagreeable. You can disagree with somebody and not be disagreeable. I mean, I have conversations. I live in an assisted living facility.
Yeah.
And we have dinners together. And I have two people, we talk a lot of politics, particularly Ukraine and Gaza,
Yeah.
Egypt and Gaza, I mean. And we talk a lot about Trump, and none of us get angry.
Yeah. Why would
Yeah.
you? Why would you?
Yeah, you don't have to. We can express our point of view, our perspective, and nobody's going to get angry.
Exactly.
That's so beautiful.
Yep. That's why I say human centricity is always more worth than system relevance. System relevance is whatever the system needs, you got to deliver that. Yeah, but that doesn't mean that's very limited. Human centricity is there's 8 billion different humans. They all have something to contribute to say something. And by listening, you see the potential grow. That's why the power podcasting is so powerful, because it's not a news media where 20 people make a news and say what is getting people upset and what gets them engaged and whatever. It's just two people talking podcasting. And we use our 6 senses, and people also can relate to it. You cannot relate to news because news is just dumping fear and scarcity on you.
Right.
You can't relate. Yeah, it's just. I mean, you can't even get a picture of Trump or Biden the two, because everybody's spinning. You cannot say, "Hey, if let's say if I was a politician and I had a problem walking, I had a problem talking, I had something, I would say it. Yeah, so what? I always had a stutter. I told you right away when we talk. I said I'm dyslexic. I stuttered. I have that tendency to stutter. So, and not to think what makes that bad or worse to me. It makes me even stronger, because I can live with that. I can say I cannot read. I wrote 6 books.
I am.
Yeah, exactly. Because you're a being, not a human doing.
Right.
You're a human being, not a doing.
I understand that. That I understand very well.
Yeah.
I agree with you about that on politics, 100%. There's no sense in, because there's not a lick of difference between the two of them.
Yep.
Why do we feel incompetent to talk about art?
Because we made it we made it a commodity, and commodity is system relevant, and you have to understand the rules and regulation in system relevance, meaning what the quote unquote experts. There's no expert in human centricity, because all I want are one human.
Yeah.
In system relevance, because let's say you talk about something artificial like a motor that has nothing to do with thing, or a computer. In that, you can be an expert, you can be an authority, because you do that. But in human centricity, you don't. So when something very human centric, like expression of you, for example, becomes, I'm gonna say, okay, Dale created this artwork, his podcast. This is his artwork. And now I judge and compare all the podcasts all around the world with Dale. Then I say, oh, Dale has no viewers. Dale might be the best human-centric podcast there is. But since you don't have 20 million people that listen, and you're not getting millions of paid, automatically I make you low. I put you low. That's why system relevance is really, we have to be conscious of system relevance versus human centricity, because human centricity created system relevance. The humans there's no system that created humans. There's humans create systems. That's why they can update them. See what the problem is today. We have never updated systems while humans have grown. We don't look at humanity anymore as it's male, female, and race. We look at humans. Oh, they're all one-on-one. That's a weird, and there's a niche, because the internet shows us, oh, there's a niche. There's a guy, that has blue hair. Not all the blue-haired guy are in that niche. So we segregate it more and more, which is okay. That's okay, because we're all one-on-one. But this is what needs to be updated in systems right now, that they update to our growth, that we have grown. Because humans grow, even if they're in prison, they grow. They grow because of you grow from experience. And so the system need to update it. And also the system need to be like, the systems need to be like artworks. We are collective creator animal. I mean, we created New York, Singapore, Paris, Google, Apple.
Yeah,
And I always say with Apple, I said, there was not, Steve Jobs didn't create Apple. He was the guy that started soldering in his garage. And because he created something, all the people came in and helped him doing it. But
right.
without the people, Steve Jobs would still, there wouldn't be any Apple, nobody would know, and he would
Right.
still sit in his garage. We collectively, we all connected. We help each other out.
Yeah, well, we have to.
We have to.
You know,
And everybody
we're
sits in the
one-on-
same boat.
We're one-on-one, all right, but we still need help
Exactly.
from an individual, the same as we are.
Yep.
You got help.
Exactly. Yeah.
But Microsoft is the same way. I love that coffee cup.
100%. 100%. Yeah.
On a side note, I love your coffee cup.
Yeah. Thank you.
It's almost big enough for me.
Exactly. No, it's like I need you, you need me for
Right.
having this happen.
Right. If you were
That's
to,
how, that's how, oh, I owe you. Oh, Dale. Oh my God. What should I say? Well, how many can I? No, it's you and I dancing, creating this.
right,
That's what it is. It's not, oh, you gotta wait. Michaell is the great. Oh, Dale, your podcast is nothing but up Michaell. No. Michaell cannot even talk if it wasn't Dale, because I can't even do the technology with my dyslexia.
yeah,
You know what I mean? So
you did okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, my dyslexia is not too bad, except when it comes to math and numbers.
yeah, good.
And I stutter occasionally.
Yeah,
All my life I've stuttered. So I understand totally.
yeah.
I went through
It's
hell.
human. It's human. It's
It
like
is,
people
but-
don't like their body. You know, people don't like their body. I said, nature gave you that body. Nature, God gave you the body. You gotta take the card that you dealt with. You know, you're not trying. Oh, I need to change my hair. I need to be taller. I need to be done. No, because you always say I'm not good enough. You are one of one. How can you not be good enough when you are one of 8 billion people? You are one, and this scientifically proven, system relevant proven, and humanly proven, because system relevantly the DNA. Fingerprints, ears, eyes. No second one is there. And then on the side of the human thing, look at your family. In a family, everybody should be the same. Everybody has a different life perspective. Just like, yeah, right? And that's why would you punish that? Because that person believes in God and the other believes in Buddha. Who cares? That's their connection, whatever. You know, who cares what they believe?
You know, I know me and my sister is a Buddhist.
Yeah.
Not a question.
Oh my goodness. Oh my God. It's system relevant that cannot function. And it functions. It works.
We get along great, and we talk about
Perfect.
religion and no problems. We talk about Buddha. I you know,
Yeah.
her
Yeah.
choice is her choice, and she's welcome to it. I don't care. She loves it.
Yeah. Exactly.
It helps us. You know, does it say my religion does that for me? Who cares?
Who cares? It's like saying, oh, I like a red car. Come on, Dale, you got to have a red car. No, he has another car. Who cares? He drives another car. No, you need to drive a red Mercedes like I do. No, you don't. You can do whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
You know?
It's really amazing the way people are, that, you know, they got to change everything. You got these men who want to be women and women who want to be men.
Yeah.
They want to change it when they're perfectly okay the way they are.
I'm in the art business, and I know a lot of transsexuals. You know, there's not a lot, like 5. You know, 5 transsexuals, and everyone is totally different.
Yeah,
total different. It's a one-on-one person.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's everybody is different. You cannot generalize. You know, I mean, there's bad white people, there are bad black people, there are bad Asian people, and they're also good from everywhere. It's you get, you know, whatever the people make out of themselves. And when you hold on this generalization, all the generalization, segregates us, because think about just what they say about men. Men are pigs, right? And women want the money from the men. Just look at that generalization. It segregates us.
Yes. And I
It
hate
segregates. It doesn't bring us together. It's just,
we are, as you say, one-on-one
yeah,
of
one
8
of one.
one of one of 8 billion. And we are so totally segregated from each other
Yeah,
as a culture.
yeah,
And that is dangerous to us.
yeah.
The whole world, not just the United States, but the whole world is dangerous.
Whole world, yeah.
Yeah, the whole world's in this mess. It's not just the United States, although we got a microcosm view of it because we're in the United States. That's all we hear about is the United States.
Yeah,
We don't
yeah.
hear what's going on in Europe. We
Yeah.
don't hear what's going on in China or
Yeah.
Japan or this other stuff. And the
Yeah.
detail that we get in America.
Yeah. In America, you don't even get what's going on, because
So,
I know only what's going on in California. Yeah. And the big issues in Washington. I don't know what's going on in your neck of the woods. I don't know. And also the Californian and the New Yorker, they always know New York and California.
yeah.
But the middle of America, nobody gives
Flyover
a shit.
country, we call it. We're called flyover country, and it's true. But it's a nice place to be. Nice
Super place. Every time I was in the middle, I was more welcome in the middle America than on the east or west coast.
Yeah. I spent 13 years in California here from 2006 to 2019.
Yeah.
And not for my health, and it absolutely confused me.
Yeah.
I couldn't understand it. And I was in Northern California.
Yeah.
I was 80 miles north of Sacramento.
Yeah.
In a little small town, and I was still confused with what was going on in California.
Yeah. And then you're not also more confused because then you listen to the news, and the news are the most confusing thing ever, because the news is a product of politics, which are lost, and they're codependent. The politics and the news are codependent.
Yes.
And actually why we believe them and what it confuses us. Look, if I tell you a lie, you say, I am a Asian woman. If I tell you that, that's a lie, right? You see me, it's a lie. But when people believe what they talk to each other, then you get confused, because we're all interconnected, and the politicians and the media, they feed each other. So the media shows them the horror of the world. The politics act on that, not on, hey, what's in my backyard? I need to take care of those people. No, I'm going to invest in more war and more doing something somewhere else.
Yeah.
And we have homeless. And now I've heard, I hope that is not true, that you'll be punished because you're homeless, that you have to, how can you do that when America, 65% of Americans live paycheck by paycheck? How can you be punished for being homeless? I hear other things. They don't want you to speak. They want to put your fine on the free speech. It's just
we're losing our Bill of Rights.
Yeah. If
government's
that just great. Yeah.
Our 10 of our Bill of Rights is slowly but surely taking them away.
Yeah. When you cannot speak, this is what makes wars work. Because war is not hatred. War is a powerlessness. When you're powerlessness, you go into fight, flight. Right. You're putting the cutest animal in a corner and pushing the corner, it bites you. Right. So you go into fight, flight, meaning your nature takes over, your DNA, and all of a sudden you can't think rationally. So when you don't express yourself and have an interaction with the whole, you go into losing your rational thought, because you're going into DNA, you become an animal. And you can be very easily manipulated to keep wars going forever. And paying for them too, because you pay and you get involved in it. So.
Yeah, we do. Can you explain the abundance and potential of art and the poverty of 95% of the world's wide artists?
Yeah, because I think I mentioned it a little bit before. so it's magical what you create. Even your podcast. I want to bring it to podcast because it's easier to understand. So you're creating a podcast. It's magical. You tweak it. You said, oh, I'm going to make this. Oh, I'm going to do this first or that first. So you basically have a conversation with your non-physical on how to do it. Because when you say, I believe I need a red background. And then you look at yourself in a red background and say, no, that's not me. And then you have the normal background, your normal background. So you tweak and you have a beautiful experience. But then the system relevance comes and says, you have no viewers, you have no listeners. And so artists just discount the magic that they experienced of creating. And they said, I'm a loser. Basically, because that's what system relevance say. If you're not successful and you're not making enough money and you're not you're a loser. And so they have the magic. See, when you do a job you don't like, then it's just you do a job that you don't, and that's what life is. But when you have a job that you love, but the job doesn't pay anything, and the job doesn't do anything, you still keep doing the job. And that's why you say, I'm not going to go another job that I hate, because you don't, then you do a hating job and you make no money. So you have to be human centric, because that's what we are. We are part of nature. And we are on our first superpower, nature or God or whatever gave us, is to create. Because otherwise all our cities would look the same, like anthills. And when you go to China, it's an anthill. You go to Singapore, it's an anthill. You go to New York, it's an anthill. And you go to Paris, an anthill. No, everything looks completely different. And we have creativity. It's our art. That's why systems are our artwork. It's like Augusta, Georgia, the masters. That's how every system should go. When you go to social services, it should be like Augusta, Georgia. It should be like a church. A church, you go in a church and you're oh my God, this is all of us together doing this. I'm not talking about the religion, but any place of worship. You go and say, wow, what a thing. We humans, we are something. And you be proud to be a human. When you go into a system thing, we go to social services, you said, oh my God, I want to get out of it. You go to the hospital, I want to get out of it. It's just that's the craziness what we do. And that's why we have to update systems.
I had a question come into my mind. I was a chef, culinary chef for 28 years. Long time. I loved it in the beginning, hated it in the end. And I couldn't do anything right. What I made, what I prepared, everybody loved except me.
Yep.
And my sister is an excellent artist, but she hates everything she does. Why is that? What makes that? Well, we hate our own.
Because she's comparing herself. It's like you don't like your body, right? You want to look different. I want bigger boobs. I want blonde hair. I want to be, I want to get the tummy tuck. I want to this. It's looking at system relevance, what the system relevance is. And we are more afraid of actually looking that we are one of 8 billion, which it doesn't allow you to hate your stuff. If your sister listens to this, it doesn't allow you to hate your stuff because you're one of one. Whatever you create is perfect. It doesn't matter. If you do the best that you can do, then the best that you can do is perfect, because you can't do more and you can't do it better and you cannot change yourself. You can adapt, which costs a lot of energy. So if you do the 100% best in God's eyes and in the nature eyes, I'm not religious. I'm saying nature is our connection to God, because we are part of nature, and that's why we understand nature. We're not, we can't comprehend God really. So everybody has it's the dirtiest word. Everybody has a different thing, and love is also the dirtiest word. Everybody has their own imagination. But nature, we are part of it. That's why we feel good when we're walking in the thing. We're talking to a doggy, and we have a good, we see flowers, we smell the roses. It's just we are part of it. That's why we feel so good, and that's the connection to God, nature. So when we really we've got so system relevance over generation. It's not your fault, Dale, or your sister's fault, but over generation, it says, no, the system is right. The system is God. The system isn't God. Nature is God. You know, the system is, we created it. So we can change it. We can change nature. We can exploit it. We can change it. So that's why human centricity is so important. Because the system relevance makes us not enjoy ourselves. Because if you enjoy yourself, your sister should enjoy the beauty she creates. And it doesn't matter of the outcome. It's the process of whatever she is. I mean, it's the process of creation that is the magic, not what comes out.
Yeah.
Not what comes out. I mean, that's why the Buddhists made these sand things, you know, and she's Buddhist, right? They make and then destroy it. Because it's the creation of creating these sand sculptures. And then the process is the good.
Yeah, I don't think she'll listen to this one, but I'll make sure she gets the message.
Yeah, you just hit her over the head with the message.
Yeah, I do that when I see her Saturday. What function has art in human existence? What function has art in our human existence? Yeah.
Oh, it shows us our potential. Because remember Star Wars, where they had not Star Wars, Star Trek, where they had like everybody has now an iPad, you know, an iPhone, you know, it's like art creates whatever isn't, it shows us the potential. It's basically a guide. It shows us what's possible, you know?
Yeah. Dick Tracy watch.
Yeah, exactly. Dick Tracy watch, exactly. And they can probably more than what Dick Tracy's watch did. The watch can do more, right? It's so art shows us our potential. Art shows us, for example, in a symphony orchestra, it's not about the conductor is like a CEO. He's the top chief, you know. He's like, no, he's not. Because in art, everything has to function. The light has to work. The curtain has to work. If the curtain doesn't go off, he can have the best player. He has the best violin player, the best flutist in the world, and the best conductor. If the curtain doesn't open, there is no concert. Everything has to, and it shows us. That's why I say art is such a great teacher. That's why I'm only focusing on art creation. My podcast is only 30 seconds. It's only about the art creation. It's never about the product. The product you can like or not like, because you are one of 8 billion people. But it shows us the potential, what's possible. You know, that it really, I have learned so much because I have no education, Dale. I was 8 years in school and I had to repeat 2 of them. I was 12 years old in a 10 years class. And you can imagine how that was.
Oh, yeah, I can. I was the same way.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I failed 2nd grade twice.
Yeah, me too.
So, you know, I really understand you quite well.
Thank you.
I don't like this, but do you feel political correctness is not necessary for the arts?
Political correctness is zero. It's zero thing, because we are 8 billion. You cannot rule, you cannot force people to be a certain way. Political correctness is awareness is something. Okay, you have tact. You're born a human. You have tact. You know, you meet a girl, you don't start farting in front of a girl, you know? You don't start sneezing her into her face. You have tact. That's a human interaction, because that's what animals don't do that, you know? They don't poop on each other, you know? It's like you have tact. That is natural. You have gratitude. When you feel balance, you feel gratitude. You don't have to think about gratitude. You don't have to think about equality, because everybody is equal. It doesn't matter how rich or poor you are, because we are one of one. So how can you equality? It doesn't matter, because you have a different look. Then white people need to be segregated too, because they all look different. You know, it's crazy, because you look different. You're one of one. So political correctness is a generalization on how you should act and what you should do. And it's a hiding behind system relevance. It's not being the human that you are. Do you want a person that is Hitler and is like Hitler, could be the future Hitler, that is walking goose steps in the basement and has flags and daggers and everything? Or do you want somebody saying, I love Hitler. I rather hear somebody telling me, because then I can choose to hang out with him or not.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Are you aware of how we got political correctness anyway entered our lexicon?
What do you say? Political
You know
correct?
how political correctness entered our language? Where it came from?
Where?
Vietnam. What happened is after the war, the North Vietnam rounded up all the South Koreans that had worked with the Americans, sent them to camps to be re-educated to become politically correct, to follow the communist view.
Mm-hmm.
So they became politically correct.
Mm-hmm.
That's where we
Wow.
get it from.
Yeah. And you know what? All the kids of when we actually were human centric, when they fell in love, Americans fell in love with, you see, even the war cannot segregate and I'm not talking about the rape. I'm just saying they had interactions.
Right.
And the kids, all the kids from rape or not, are now totally ousted.
Mm-hmm.
When in Vietnam, I've just had a friend of mine that came back from Vietnam. He says he couldn't believe that every kid that is not that was from that connection is like outcast, again, racist. It's so the political correctness is actually more racist.
Yes.
Because it generalizes. Because what can a kid of an interaction do? It's like what we do. Like the political correctness nurtures racism, because what can a kid do that was, my dad was American, my mom was Vietnamese. What can that kid do to undo that? There's nothing that kids can do undo this. And to push on that person and shame it and shun it is exactly what we do now with Palestinians and Jews, with Ukrainian and Russians, all over the world, because one person decided we have to have war, or a couple of people. When you look at in history, 14 people of the highest thing, Hitler was the only one that wasn't educated. The only one. Everybody else was a doctor of thing. 14 people decided to kill 6 million Jews.
Yeah.
14 people in a castle on a lake had a meeting on a weekend and decided that 6 million Jews will kill. They didn't know how many. They said the Jews need to be killed. Result was 6 million. 14 people. The concentrated power on top doesn't work.
Right.
We have to have little tribes everywhere, and they all live in harmony. Because also the finding of creativity, when I talk to you, not, hey, you got to come on my side, and you said, no, you kind of come on your side, we can't learn anything.
No.
When you and I say, hey, wow, we are the example right here. That's why podcast is so powerful,
Because we can have a conversation without getting disagreeable.
Yeah, and how can I disagree? Look, I can't be disagreeable by saying, oh, that's not me. But how can I say right or wrong? Because then everybody must be the same. If everybody was the same, I would say, yes, all the same. They're not different. There's no difference. And there's more people that are the same that say yes than say no. Then I could say right or wrong, but everybody's one of one. Mm-hmm. There is no right or wrong. There is no, the disagreement is understanding you're one on one. The disagreement is actually a tool to understand, oh, I wouldn't even think about talking. Like when I go on podcasts, stuff comes out of me I would have never thought of because of you. Because you ask me, you talk to me, you have an interaction, and that's why the dance with humans is the superpower.
Yeah.
When you can dance with every human, you learn more than any university. And you know that when you go to a top university, you pay $500,000 to go there.
Okay.
And you're not paying for the knowledge, because the knowledge you can basically have on the internet.
Yeah.
But it's the interaction with the people of that echelon.
Yeah.
You know them. It's the human interaction. It's not the knowledge what they give.
Okay, I understand that. I went to college very briefly. It wasn't my thing for sure, and it was in my 60s before I went to college. And I didn't learn a thing that I didn't already know.
Yep. Yep.
No,
Because age does that natural. Age that educates you naturally.
Yeah. Let's not talk about age. I'm getting too old as it is.
Oh, it's also, but that's also system relevant. Oh, with 50, you can't do this. Oh, with 60, you can't do it. Oh, with 70. I've never felt better in my life. I'm 65. I've never felt better in my life. I was a sick child. I was my whole life sick. I was at 200 doctors and healers.
Yeah.
And I've never felt better than in my life than now.
Good for you, because well, you can see I'm on oxygen.
Yeah.
COPD, and I got 2 heart conditions.
Yeah.
And I'm always in the care. In fact, right after this, I got to go to my doctor.
Yeah.
My doctor. That it's okay. I'm 74 and I'm happy.
Yeah. That's what it counts. And also your body is your best friend.
Tomorrow I'll be 74 and just as happy.
Exactly. And also listen to your body, because your body is your best friend. It's like the best dog. Listen to your body. Don't just tell. Like, I cannot. A doctor really cannot tell you what's right or wrong. He can't. He can say, I suggest this, and then if you feel good, if you eat the pill and you get sick, that's not what it is. You need to feel what your body tells you what to want. Your body is here's nature. He wants to help you. And the doctor can suggest everything and all with his best will. And I'm not against doctors at all, but it doesn't make him right, because when he generalizes humans, then and so you can't get generalized with humans. Oh, all humans, always people with a stroke or heart attack needs to do this. No. Every single one person needs different treatment. And that's the update of system. Also, the medical system is updating now with AI, where it's individual. It's not about, oh, you have a heart attack. They just found out, by the way, that when your whole family had heart attacks, it's mental. It's not in the DNA. My dad was dying with 52 in a heart attack and have nothing. I mean, I doesn't say I might not die tomorrow, but I'm saying I have nothing with this. So, and all his kids have nothing with heart. So it doesn't mean, because that's a big excuse. Oh, and then mentally we make us ready for a heart attack. When you say, oh, if all the people in your life had heart attacks, you gotta be very careful. And in that, you actually weaken yourself. You program yourself to get a heart attack.
You talk yourself into a heart attack. What you do?
Exactly.
Like my grandfather and my father both talked themselves into the grave. They were healthy. They were doing fine. They just sit there in their chair and talked themselves into the grave.
Yeah.
That's what a waste. What a waste.
And they do the same thing with diabetes now, and because it's the money. You know, it's the third cause of death is medical care, because medical care was, and all healings. I'm not talking just I'm just thinking the people. It becomes a business. When the business becomes more important than helping you and dancing with you and helping you, because they need to feed their kids too. See, everybody, there's nobody excluded. It's not like the bad doctors. No, it's not the bad. The system needs to be updated to 101, not to generalization. Right. And then, because when generalization is, we segregate and we kill ourselves.
Yeah, we have about 9 minutes here. Let me ask you this one question. How do we upgrade the system?
How do we
upgrade the system? You mentioned it many times.
Update. We have to update. Not you can't. When the most you break a system, you fight ultimately with humans. That's why I'm
Yeah.
so pro system. I'm very pro system.
Yeah.
And I think if the system were like, if every system you go to is like the Masters in Augusta, it's like a church. Would you think, would you be against system? No, because they take care of you, they love you, you feel well in an environment that is human, has art, is beautiful, So I am for updating systems. I'm not ever for fighting systems. Anytime you fight a system, you fight against all the people that are dependent on that system to exist.
How do you upgrade?
Upgrade. Being conscious. What do you, first of all, listen to us, listen to this episode and say, okay, that makes sense. If it doesn't make sense, don't do it. I'm one-on-one. I'm not right or wrong. I'm just telling you what I think. So or what I feel. So I would, there's so much to do update system. There's so much easy. If you're just looking at the execution of humans in systems as not, we have to do this for the woman, we have to do this for the gay guys, we have to do this for lesbians, we have to do this for that. No, everybody's one of one. Everybody's one of one, and we have to look at humans as one of one. And if there's a bad this one or a bad that one, they're bad. So what? It is not because they're in that group, and they don't have a right in that group to be good. Oh, because I'm a whatever. I'm a special dyslexic guy. I should be. I'm a dyslexic guy, so you have to do everything I say. No, that's politically correct. That's generalization.
And
just that.
With you on this.
Dale, just seeing humans as one-on-one is enough update. Because once the people are aware of it, the change happens automatically.
But I am so with you on that we don't have to treat special populations as special populations.
Yeah. It's like you running around. Yeah, it's like you running around and they have your oxygen and said, oh, I have oxygen. I can do this. I can poop on this table. I can do this. I can do. It's crazy.
No. So I am so with you that I will populate the internet with a lot of this, get this advertised really well. When I publish it, it's going to be about 2 weeks, maybe a bit longer.
Whenever you want, Dale, I'm not going to push you. You do it whenever you do.
I will send you a link, notification through Podmatch that you've been published.
Yeah, and I'm going to send you on Podmatch. I send you all my links. Yeah. So you see, and then connect with me, and I connect back to you.
Right.
And then we cross promote. So when this comes out, we cross promote. Because this is a very human episode, and our common denominator is being human. Right? It's not being woman, it's not being men, it's not being Republicans, it's not being Democrats. We are humans. And that's our common denominator. And if we want to talk to all humans, not just to certain humans.
Oh, you're right. I just am so against this special populations taking care of
system relevance bullshit. Totally bullshit. System relevant. What the system says is generalizing humans. No, but every time you generalize humans, you segregate them.
Well, yeah, my great grandfather was a slave, so you have to treat me different.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah.
So long. But William, Mitchell, you have been an incredible guest, and I really enjoyed you.
Yeah, me too. Me too, Dale.
Had a great time. They learned a lot. Remember that I'd already learned anyway.
And you can always do it again, Dale, if you need me.
Don't be surprised if I write you and say, let's do this again.
Yeah, and you can also, if people have questions and say, no, I don't agree with you guys, we can take all those guys off. Because human centricity is counting. We are humans, we're not systems.
Well,
we're human first.
Yep, amen to that one. Well, I gotta go. So
okay.
Thank you very much, William. Michael, I don't know why I'm getting William from.
See, they did the same amount I did with you.
Yeah. Anyway, have a marvelous day.
You too. Good to meet you, Dale.
Yes, it is.
Thank you for listening to the show. There are show notes and a place to comment at https:// coffee time again.libsyn.com/website. He hopes that you liked what you heard and will tell others about him. Dale is attempting to get a following that both disagrees and agrees with him. He does not want yes men. If you disagree, wonderful. He is happy to have you here as a part of the Coffee Time Again team. Dale does not talk about the news of the day. He is attempting to give a history lesson that is just as important about what is going on in the headlines of today. Please do not hesitate to contact him. Just remember that Dale wants a clean show, meaning no cussing, name calling, yelling, or hate allowed. You can disagree with him and not be disagreeable about it. Support him and help keep this alive. https:// glow.fm / coffee time again.